Stormy Sensei here. Oh, that's not good. No signal. Let's go ahead and fix that. Which is interesting, because I actually just got through checking that right before I went live. Hey there, Lubba. Maybe I'll just edit out this part afterwards. Alright, it should work this time. Though it does not. Interesting. I wonder if there's some sort of like anti-capture software going on here. Let's hope not. There wasn't for Final Fantasy IX. Hey there, Bino. Guess I'll try unplugging it and plugging it back in. One moment, I'll be right back. Well, that's even worse, actually. There we go. There we go. All better. Testing the audio levels. Looks like I'm able to be heard, so that's good. Alright, now we're back. Had some minor technical difficulties going on there. Alright, now for the spiel. Hello and welcome everyone, Stormy Sensei here. Tonight we're going to start a new series here. We'll be playing Final Fantasy X, which was originally released for the PlayStation 2. It was the first game of the next generation of Final Fantasy games. It is the first Final Fantasy game that I was able to beat growing up, which is interesting because like I've played many more hours of other Final Fantasy games. Like in particular Final Fantasy VI I played to the end of the game twice but never actually finished it. But I was actually able to finish this one and actually did some post-game stuff as well. This is the last game to do random encounters, but the first game to get rid of the active time bar. And you'll see what the combat ends up looking like when we actually get into it. But for a lot of reasons, I really like Final Fantasy X. And whenever someone asks me what Final Fantasy game should I play first, I've never played any of them, I always say that Final Fantasy X should be your starting point, just because it's like so simple and you know, it has enough depth to like really get into it, but it is, if you ignore all the crazy mechanics like crafting and things like that in blitzball, you still have a very enjoyable game with voice acting and cutscenes and things like that. So all the modern trimmings of like what makes a good RPG. Plus, it still like holds up. We're going to be playing the HD remastered version, which released for the Switch last year, or I guess the year before, technically. But without further ado, let's get into it. I stream at the worst times. It's like 8 o'clock. Well, it's like 9 o'clock. I plan to stream to go for about 2 hours, maybe if we're like in the middle of a really important portion, maybe 3 hours. It's 2:45 a.m. Unfortunate for Europe. Alright, we already got like the wonderful music coming in to begin with. How's the music sound, or how are you able to hear the game sound? So in many ways, this game is considered an epic, I guess, like by the literary definition. The story begins in the middle. Like right now, this sort of cutscene here is like way, way late in the game, and you see all the characters that we're going to get along the way, so you don't have to worry about spoilers or anything like that. And then as part of the opening cutscene, he's going to say like, oh, let me tell you how it all began. And we're going to go all the way back to the beginning of the story. Very similar to like Homer's Odyssey or something like that. The song we're listening to right now is called To Xanakind. That's probably not how you pronounce it. But in my head, that's what it's, you know, the word that, or the sound that it looks like kind of makes me think that that's what it's supposed to be called. I'm going to look it up real quick. But it's like one of the top Final Fantasy game songs, you know, according to most, you know, people that make such lists. Mostly YouTubers, basically. Xanarkand. See you, Bino? We'll still be here. Alright, so it's kind of weird for them to offer these two options here. They don't even say like what they mean. But the standard sphere grid is how I played it growing up, so that's what we're going to do. The expert sphere grid is just as fine. It's actually, you're able to get as strong no matter which one you do, but you're able to more quickly make advanced classes basically if you chose expert sphere grid. It's fine if you do one or the other though. And we're going to go with the arranged soundtrack even though I grew up with the original. Most important question though, English or Japanese for the voice acting? Or apparently I actually already passed the point where I can choose the language. So apparently between Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, it'll take about 200 hours of gameplay. They say that, but I think I'll be done with it within like 150. I'm not gonna go straight into Final Fantasy X-2 right after this, though. I'm going to consider that a spin-off Final Fantasy, or not, RPG that I play along with the other RPGs that aren't Final Fantasy based on the channel.
Listen to my story. This may be our last chance.
I might go back and take a screenshot of that particular moment just so I can have that as the thumbnail. Because right now I just have the Tidus in the as a thumbnail, but having Final Fantasy X overlaid on top of it would be pretty nice. So that's the end of the story. Here's the beginning. So here's this guy. His name is spelled Tidus. And that's about all we know about how you're supposed to say that name. If you were to say it in Japanese, it would be Tidus. But I'm going to call it Tidus for the entirety of this playthrough. And there's nothing that you guys can do to stop me. Is one of the biggest debates online, whether it's Tidus or Tidus. Oh, we're already in control, by the way. Oh, man. So, I'm going to not say what I'm thinking about right now, but because of spoilers, maybe if I remember it 200, like 100 hours from now, I'll bring this back up. But something just occurred to me, having replayed this for the first time in many years, just looking out at the landscape just then.
Can I have your autograph?
Of course.
Good luck tonight.
Nothing to worry about. Oh, if I score a goal, I'll, do this. That will mean it was for you, okay? What seat?
He's blocking the front row. Fifth from the right.
Got it.
So, Tidus is a professional athlete. He plays a game called blitzball.
Can you sign this?
No
The
problem.
thing that he's holding, or that all the kids are holding, are blitzballs.
Alrighty.
It's a very
Take it
involved
easy.
mini-game that exists within the real game, and we will hardly play any of it
Well,
for this
gotta
playthrough.
go. Cheer for me.
2, 3. Teach us how to blitz.
Hey, I got a game to play.
Then teach us after.
Maybe tonight, well,
You can't tonight.
I mean tomorrow.
Promise?
Promise.
There's a guy on that billboard, by the way. You see it on the left now.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news. Our hero, checked, gone, vanished into thin air. My dad must have been his biggest fan. I knew how sad he'd be. Heck, we all were that day. Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jack all night. My dad
I don't know
and
who
never
Zanar
talked
is,
so
actually.
much. Whoa. Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway, 10 years later, the Jack Memorial Cup tournament is today. The two teams that have won through to the
That's the
finals
sports
are, of course,
announcer.
the Abes from A East and the Duggles from C South. I know there's a lot of people out there today to see the star of the Abes. In just 1 year, he's become the team's number...
Oh no, I cut off the announcer.
Make way, make way! Coming through, sorry. Hey, I'm gonna be late. Hey, let go of me.
As you can see, he's like an Omega popular sports guy. To have a strategy for Kamari's skill tree, he's going to basically mirror Arn. He's going to be chasing after him. Mostly focusing on attack. Alright, so here is blitzball. Enjoy the spectacle while you can, because we're not going to be seeing much blitzball. It's the tiger of this game. So blitzball is like soccer, except it all takes place underwater. Hey there, Terrence. Oh, and I was in the middle of cutscene when you came in, but hey there, Pika. So here's this giant water thing that's coming off the coast, coming towards this city. Not very friendly looking. So whenever you see the actual gameplay of blitzball, pretend like this is what's actually happening with the real life action things. The tackling and the passing and the shooting. And it's good that they gave some context for how this looks. So here's the shot that he's supposed to be making. And it looks super awesome. Except he's like, whoa, what's that giant thing out there? And he just totally misses the shot instead. And now, the whole city gets destroyed. There are plenty of fan theories about what happened during this cutscene for real. I'll get into them more at the end of the game. Let's go this way. Nope, can't go this way. There's nothing back here. There's a little mini map here, so we're able to kind of see our progress. And there's the guy from the cutscene over here. Let's see if we can walk past him. Nope, we can't.
Oren! What are you doing here? What are you talking about?
Alright, very early on here, we're going to be introduced to the combat system. It's actually pretty early for Final Fantasy games, generally speaking. But this is the first time that they've had a system like this, so it does need some explanation for a first-time player.
Don't cry.
I really hope that there's a cutscene viewer
What the?
in this game. I would like to rewatch this cutscene,
wait!
or at least play through this section again right after we beat the final boss. I think that'd be interesting.
Hey, not this way.
Okay, what has happened? I suggest you like scroll back to maybe 12 minutes ago and then start watching at 1.5 speed, because you can catch up pretty easily. But basically, we're the sports guy, and we were playing a game of sports, and then this water monster decided to destroy the entire city. And that's basically, you actually kind of already caught up just with those sentences.
A gift from Jack.
My old man?
I hope you know how to use it. These ones don't matter. We cut through.
Alright, so I'm not even going to bother touching the controller right now. The combat in this game, the last RPG that I played on the channel was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that's completely different. Well, that came after this one, but the last Final Fantasy game we played was Final Fantasy 9, which had like a little timer bar that reached from 0 to the full gauge, and then my turn was available. And if I didn't touch anything, then the enemies would keep on attacking me without any sort of response. That's called an ATB, or active time battle. This is different from that. This is actually, all of my turns are scheduled ahead of time, as you can see on the top right corner, so I can see when everything is going to happen. So I know from looking at my chart that I want to attack monster B in order to not, well, okay, I can't actually do that, but I can attack this one monster in front at least. And now I want to attack monster C to not have them fight at all. And like, that's the basics of combat here. You get to see where all the turns are going to take place, and then you can change the turn order by killing or slowing down enemies or speeding them up, and things like that. Huge visual upgrade over Final Fantasy 9. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy 9 was the last Final Fantasy game that existed on the PlayStation, and Final Fantasy X is the first game, Final Fantasy, to be created for the PlayStation 2. So, as always, there's a huge graphical shift when you're going for a new console. Although some would say that Final Fantasy VI looks better than Final Fantasy VII. You know, there are some people that are like that out there. I just want you to know that the Final Fantasy VI propaganda will not end. I can't wait till we're playing that on this channel.
Get out of my town!
Some can't wait to die.
And the character has overdrive. Oh, so that yellow bar underneath my HP and magic is actually not a representation of how much HP I have, but rather our overdrive gauge. Press minus, I guess? What button would that be? Oh, that's the left, left on the D-pad, I guess? Yeah, I'm not even allowed to do anything other than overdrive right now because of the, what's it called? There we go. We managed to do that in time. It's a little confusing just because, oh, by the way, this enemy can't kill us. Demi will never actually kill you, so it's impossible to lose this fight. I kind of wish that, like Final Fantasy VIII, you could like press a button to do a little bit more damage with your auto attack. Maybe you can. I'm gonna just keep trying it. Either the timing has been wrong or you just can't do it. So you can press the B button to walk, or you can hold the B button to walk, otherwise you auto run, which is nice. It's a lot better than walking and then pressing the B button to
Alright, let's
run.
get out of here.
Weren't expecting.
Huh? Give me a break, man.
There are way too many of these. Are we at full health again? Or are we... okay. Well, that's kind of bad. Guess I should heal? I'm sure they won't be able to kill me. A and D get to attack? Yeah, let's go ahead and throw a potion in here. Let's see how much damage they do. 28. They could have almost killed us, I guess.
could be bad. That! Knock it down!
What?
Trust me, you'll see.
Goodbye, Orin. Well, sure hope that this thing works. There we go. In case you hadn't gotten this by now, Jekt, the guy on the billboard, is Tidus' father.
Go.
Oren! Oren!
This feels very Lion King to me.
You are sure? This is it. This is your story. It all begins here.
You know, in the description for this game, I almost made a reference to this being the original Isekai anime. I managed to refrain from it, though.
Hey!
My old man?
Why would I descend? I want to go towards the giant flamey thing. Looks like I'm not able to. So we will descend, I suppose. Welcome back, Bino.
I thought about a lot of things. Like where I was, what I got myself into. I started to feel lightheaded, and then sleepy. I think I had a dream of being alone. I wanted someone, anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
Alright, so we were sucked into the giant water monster, and now we are in some water ruins.
Anybody there? Oren! Hey!
To display the quick recovery menu, touch the touchscreen and drag right or select the icon that appears. Oh, that's not going to happen. There are two types for quick recovery, using magic and using items. So items would be like potions and Phoenix Down. Magic would be like Cure, Cure Up, Asuna. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like automatically efficient because it uses the minimum amount of MP requirement. Like sometimes I don't know, like, oh, are they hurt enough for me to use Cura on the full party, or should I use Cure once on each party member? And it only heals using potions and high potions, so it won't use like max potions or anything like that. The first trial, that feels like it's pretty far away. We've already been like 40 minutes in. First trial is like, because like we had to be introduced to like 3 new characters, and then they're gonna like go over to combat tutorials, and we had to like meet another character that's not going to quite join our party, or she's gonna join and then leave. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the first trial tonight. They didn't say anything about the quick recovery tutorial when there isn't a touchscreen. Now, if I remember correctly, treasure chests are not on the map in this game. So you just kind of have to like know where they are. I don't think there are going to be any random encounters while we're in this area. But also at the same time, like, if there were any items in here, there would be like potions or something like that. There's not going to be anything that's worth getting. And in fact, thanks to the crafting system, there's actually no weapon that, or because of crafting and legendary weapons, I should say, there's actually going to be no fear of like missing out on a really important item in a treasure chest. Like, we'll be able to create or do crazy quests for way better things.
What do we have here? No, can't read it.
Are we able to return here? Oh, maybe with a New Game Plus. Is there a New Game Plus in Final Fantasy X? I don't remember there being one. I remember when I said, you know, there's no point in just searching for treasure chests because everything is so easy to find, but... Or not easy to find, it's just that it's, we can make things ourselves. So, Albed is a language in the game. Ah, so you can carry things over? Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember that being in the base game. I thought that I was about to discover a new letter. It's supposed to be like, you know, you're learning a language throughout the game, but what it really ends up being is just being a cryptogram. Which is just replace every one letter with some other letter for the entire alphabet. And then once you descramble it, then your character, and thus you, are able to understand the language. Okay, so save spheres heal you completely. That's good to know, because that was not the case in Final Fantasy IX. can you craft an outbed primer? One could. I personally cannot. This guy has the worst luck. Is he a distant ancestor of the Zekinator? I see a treasure chest up on that ridge, don't you? Oops. I accidentally went forward in the story, apparently. I bought the physical version of Final Fantasy X and X-2, and so I had to download the Final Fantasy X-2 portion separately. I had a download code for it. I think this is the first time we're hearing the battle music here. However briefly that was. And you thought, oh, we're just going to like defeat these 3 enemies. Nope. We got a boss fight this early on. Ambushed. That's the opposite of a preemptive strike. He took off half my HP just then. Took off another half my HP. Is he one of those bosses that can't actually kill me? Because they only do half damage each turn? It's a good thing that he's a professional blitzball player, able to outswim the current of him trying to be sucked in by the monster there. And we have escaped, but we can't go backwards, which means we'll never see that treasure chest ever again.
And into the freezer. I thought I was gonna die in this place.
There's a green dot on my map. Let's see what that is. The white dot clearly was a save point. Oh, green dot means exit, I guess. Yeah, Tidus is able to breathe underwater for a really long time. And we're just going to suspend disbelief and say this because he's a blitzball player. other options for these types of things. Pressing the A button, and it's... there we go. That urn over there looks like it would actually be a treasure chest, but it actually isn't. Did I rank blitzball earlier? What do you mean by that? Like, compare it to some other thing? What other thing would I compare it to? The only thing I said about blitzball was that we will not be playing much of it in this playthrough. Any keen eyes seeing any treasure chests that I may be missing? Oh, it's like a 3, probably. It takes like a lot of effort to do it. Like, it could be fun, I suppose. But also, like, the fact that the good members are kind of locked behind just talking to a bunch of people and like backtracking and whatnot. I don't really like you know, much of it, basically. The gameplay could be fun. Like, if there were like a versus mode blitzball where like all the characters and whatnot were already taken care of for you, and you could just pick balanced teams and play against humans, then I could see it being pretty fun. Or like some sort of auto chess type of deal. But even an ultimate weapon is not enough for me to want to play this version. Tiger was actually, I like it less than Tiger, but the thing about Tiger is that like it's really it's a lot more useful in the game and a lot less time consuming as well. Like Tiger, you can kind of just like play it a couple of times and then get used to it and then like play, you know, less than 20 times even, and just kind of be done for the rest of the game. Like, I kind of got lucky and got Tank Mod 3 within my first like hour of playing it, and then never had to play it again, basically. Blitzball is like way less useful unless you're specifically going for a legendary weapon. Tetramaster? What? That was the Final Fantasy IX card game.
I need food.
We just got through fighting some fish. That could have been food for you.
What do you want?
It was a bad call. Your team lost because of you.
You came to say that?
It's been 10 years. I thought you'd be crying.
Who, me?
You cried.
Looks like food has arrived. Special delivery.
Hey, wait! Don't go out on me! Just hold on. I'll get more wood.
Just look how delicious it looks. You guys would eat this, right? You just gotta declaw it.
Give me a break!
There's actually no strategy involved for this portion of the game. It's just kind of mash the A button. There's going to be like a lot of strategy to the gameplay in the middle, and then when we get really strong at the end, it's going to basically go back to mashing the A button. But for a different reason. Like, we're mashing attack right now. Eventually we're going to be doing mashing quick hit. There's a safe spot in here. It's very hard not to spoil the things that are happening like immediately. Like soon to be spoilers.
You on my side? Cool!
Riku! Ah, darn it, I've already spoiled it. Well, this character, this usability here is kind of broken if you actually bother to try using it. I'm kind of lazy and I hate using consumable items, so you won't see much of this character. Well, you'll see this character plenty, but you won't see much of the usability. Oh, we got 2 ability spheres.
That was close. Hey, let me go!
Fredek Drak! Vin, Irisa, Tekika! Pog, Edeku! Kemed?
Fed! Srivatek Risa!
Dralnia, Dratisha Dave.
Ifan Petit! Fapuneket Fadrik!
Yeah, so if I had a translated Albed primer, then I would be able to understand these cutscenes at the very beginning. Maybe this opening wouldn't even be very surprising that they ended up like knocking him out here. Because I actually don't know what they ever said in this cutscene before. Because I've only played through the game once.
Kid, Daija!
Hey, that hurts!
Usujek, right?
Whoa. Okay.
Canis!
Right, whatever.
Tuli Hood Kabeg?
I said I don't understand.
Rakonala!
Fed!
Feel like
He said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
there you go.
You understand me?
New some
All right,
a subset of it. I think
I'll
that even the Mohawk guy also speaks English. I think this is called contrivance for the cutscene. Oh man, I was hoping that when I changed the option to memory instead of Alright, so every time there's a Y, it's actually an A. I feel like... What was I going to say?
Sujait! Kadufun et setedamo!
Okay, look, now you can see the translated A's throughout the letter, throughout the sentences. Still not enough for me to understand it yet, but as you get further... Oh, thank you. Tidus will be so confused. It's like, okay, you're handing me these potions? Cool.
Oh, almost forgot.
Yep, if you finish your Albed primer and then you start a new save file and then you go to the Albed primer crafter in that first area, then you use the save file for what that has the completed primer, then you can actually play through the beginning portion with the subtitles translated. Although they won't be speaking English, they'll be speaking, you know, Albed, and you'll just be able to understand it. Hey there, DS64. So now we're going to talk about the spear grid. Where's the sphere grid? It's actually the sphere grid. I'm going to sometimes accidentally call it a spear grid, as if it's like you throw them, or like Kilmari's weapon, because sometimes I don't read things closely enough. Defense, abilities, and nodes. Basically, in most RPGs, you level up and you gain stats. In Final Fantasy X, you level up and you get spheres that you add to your sphere grid, and those spheres, in the sphere grid, each node within it contains stats, basically. Welcome to the channel, Jasper. Sphere levels are gained by getting ability points, which are obtained by participating in battles. You must fight in battles to gain AP and obtain SL, which you in turn use to move around the grid. If they don't participate in battle, they will not grow stronger. So you move after 4 steps. So if you want to like skip over stuff, then you can. So that's they talked a lot about like moving forward and then going backwards to get things you missed, but for the most part, what we're going to be doing is just activating everything one node at a time going forward. We're not going to be skipping around too often. I'm actually still not able to control any of this stuff yet, by the way. It's just kind of going through the tutorial, and like no matter what I press is going to allow me to, it's going to just do the thing that it's trying to tell me to do. Couldn't find any interesting Final Fantasy streams. Well, this is somewhat of an RPG channel. We do RPGs basically every other month. We previously did Final Fantasy IX, and now we're working on Final Fantasy X. Have I ever done the Expert Grid? No, I've never done Expert Grid. I've only played this twice before. Actually, this is my second time playing this game, I should say. I beat it once when it first came out, and haven't played it since then. So all this is really telling me is use spears, and you can't move past locks because you aren't past that point in the game yet. Easy stuff. Thank you, Jasper. It's so crazy that, like, once upon a time, like, pressing L and R to switch from one character to another is, like, such an obvious thing for you to do in menuing these days. But in a way, like, you know, once upon a time that wasn't the case. You were able to do it in Final Fantasy IX, I remember, and 8, and maybe 7? Maybe 7. But I don't think you were able to do it in 6, but then again, there wasn't really much of a reason for you to do it in 6. Definitely not 5, though. You zoom in and out for a better view. Yeah, there are a lot of spheres to go through. So much. Alright, so there are different regions of the grid. So like in this region, it's going to be a lot of evasion. You're going to be able to steal. You're going to be able to use items, things like that. And then in other portions, like here's this, where all these locks are. I think this is kind of like the center where a particular character will start, and then they can kind of branch out to any other place. And then extract power, I think that's black magic? Yeah, oh no, this is magic break. So this is Orin's section over here. And so every character is going to be on this grid at the same time, which means that at some point in time, every character can have all the skills of every other character, which is pretty cool. Pressing A sends me back to this location. We can go forward 1 and use an ability sphere. And now we have the ability cheer, which does something. My ability cheer raises the party's strength and defense. That's actually kind of nice. I don't remember really using that very often in my first playthrough. But then again, I was like in high school at the time. Was I even in high school at the time? This game came out in like 2002, I want to say. ...2001, somewhere between 2001 and 2003, I'd like to say.
What's this? Some kind of crane?
So then I would have been in middle school at the time.
Rahui! Kadya Vijavonus, Dran!
All right. You don't have to shout.
We found some ancient ruins right beneath us. It's not active now, but there should still be some power left. We're gonna go down there and activate it. And then we should be able to salvage the big prize.
More salvaging? We just finished
Okay,
Xenoblade though.
let's get to work.
Roger.
So the area is pretty, you know, it looks kind of open, but for the most part, it's mostly a corridor. And most of the maps are going to be just corridors. And that's what it looks like when we have a random encounter. Like I mentioned before, this is the final game in the franchise to do random encounters. Now that's a game I haven't played in a really long time. I actually played through and beat Xenosaga episodes 1 and 2, and I think that I got most of the way through Xenosaga episode 3 as well. I want to say. I remember it was kind of weird, and I don't remember it as well as I remember the first one. It was like, it turned into like a card game of some kind. I've played Xenosaga. I played it on the PlayStation 2 when it first came out, but I have no console that would currently play Xenosaga right now. But we recently got through we just got through beating Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and about a year ago we beat Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on the channel. I would love to see Xenosaga be on the Switch or PS5 or like anything that I would eventually get my hands on. No treasure chests down here, so we're just gonna keep going forward. Did I ever get Cosmos? No, I didn't. Oh, hi there, enemies. Looks like we were ambushed. They're both from Monolith Soft. Whoa. Oh, that's next. Okay, I was like, there's no way they just earned 434 ability points there. So by defeating fast enemies, we get speed spheres, which is pretty nice. Well, that looked ominous. I don't see how they don't actually see that enemy from back here. Is there a treasure chest back there? I don't think there is. Nope. No chests. Hi there, Mr. Monster. Looks like there's no way for me to see what buffs I currently have. Did I just skip my turn? By pressing the X button? Well, I'm not gonna waste time standing by. Let's see, if I use cheer, then I'll actually move even sooner. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll stand by. We got some health back from doing that. And now we get a back attack or two. Let's go ahead and hit him with the grenade here. Oh, since he's going to be over there, I may as well use a potion here. How nice of him to be a boss that just kind of like lets us heal. Oh wow, I get to, if I use an item, then I will get to move a second time during this turn. He is doing less damage. I'm almost at my overdrive. What is this main thing? Oh, okay. Oh, I can change my weapon and armor? Since when? That seems like a new thing. Oh, overkill. Nice. Overkilling the enemy gives you bonus experience points at the end. It's a very important portion of the speed running this game. since you hardly fight anything. So the things that you do fight, you need to definitely overkill them. Yep, got some defense up. HP increased by 200. That's a good one. Unfortunately, she's not gaining levels, because I guess... Wait, is she gaining? Let me see her status here. She actually is gaining. Okay, just slowly. I watched a video that showed you had Final Fantasy 3 on the Wii. Was that 3 or was it actually 6? Yes. So Final Fantasy 6 was the third Final Fantasy game to come to America, and was thus called was packaged as Final Fantasy 3. The second game that America's got was Final Fantasy 4, which has the packaging of Final Fantasy 2, but is actually Final Fantasy 4 in Japan. The days before international releases were very weird. At least Final Fantasy, the original, is still Final Fantasy. Oh, I'm supposed to be going down? Why? Who's down there? I guess we can't talk while we're underwater, which I guess is supposed to make sense. Growing up, I played Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo, and then years later, I discovered that it was Final Fantasy VI and not Final Fantasy III. And at the first opportunity that I had, I bought it on the Wii, where I have a save file that I probably won't stream from. I'm going to start over on that. Also on my Wii is Chrono Trigger. And maybe Super Mario RPG, but don't quote me on that though. Oh, so that thing that we just went underwater to get was an airship. I'm assuming from context clues.
Hey! Hey, I helped out, didn't I?
I really want to complete the Albed primer just to come back and rewatch these first few hours.
Hungry. Whoa! Right on.
That actually looks pretty good. What is that, salmon and mashed potatoes?
Hey! It's 'cause you eat too fast. Hey!
Hello there. What is your name?
Riku?
Whoa! You really do understand.
What? Of course she does.
Why didn't you say so earlier?
I didn't get a chance to. Everyone thought we were a fiend.
We?
Oh, we means you.
We is you.
Who are you guys anyway?
So O is Y.
We're Al Bhed. Can't you tell? Wait, you're not an Al Bhed hater, are you?
I don't even know what an Al Bhed is.
Where are you from?
Xanarkand. I'm a blitzball player. Star player of the Xanarkand Abes.
Did you hit your head or something?
You guys hit me?
Oh, right. Do you remember anything before that?
So I told her everything there was to tell about Xanarkand. About life there, blitzball, and Sin's attack. And about how Aaron and I were engulfed in this light. I just said things as they came to mind. But then I started to wonder.
Sounds pretty crazy to me.
Did I say something funny?
You were near Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin is near. Maybe you just had some kind of dream?
You mean I'm sick?
Because of Sin's toxin, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there is no Xanarkand anymore. Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago.
1,000 years
so
ago.
no one plays blitzball there.
Huh? What do you mean, 1,000 years ago? But I saw Sin attack Xanarkand. You're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way!
And now we've come to the core conceit of the storyline. It's like Breath of the Wild on steroids. Our hero has been trapped inside Sin for 1,000 years, only to emerge.
You said... you play blitzball?
Uh-huh.
You know, you should go to Luca. Someone might know who you are, or you might find someone you recognize.
Luca?
Ah.
Huh.
Okay, leave it to me. I'll get you to Luca. Promise. You'd rather stay here?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'll go tell the others. Wait here. Oh. And one thing. Don't tell anyone you're from Xanarkand. Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh.
So as far as my memories from this game,
My Xanarkand?
I remember a lot from the beginning, and I remember
kind
a
of
whole lot
holy
from the
place?
very end.
Yeah, right, I thought.
Not
Since
much of the
when?
middle stuff.
Yevon? Sin? Luca? I thought Sin just took me to a faraway place. That I could go back in a day or two. But 1,000 years into the future? No way! Whoa, whoa!
Itonic! Itonic!
Alright, so for this battle, I didn't know this the first time I played through this game, but I've since watched lots of Final Fantasy X based content. This next boss battle that we're about to go to has infinitely spawning enemies, and you can actually level all the way up to the max level while in this battle. That being said, it doesn't really help much because you don't get infinite spheres for the sphere grid doing that. Oh wait, I'm mistaken. This is a different, it's completely different actually.
Riku! Blitzball!
Hey, you okay?
Hey!
Ooh, what's this over here? No! It was nothing. Why would you put this over here? Why am I not being rewarded for my curiosity? Is there nothing anywhere over here? There we go. At least you gave me like one thing at all. Antidote, eh. Oh, look, another treasure chest over here. A moon crest. That sounds a lot better. Now that's more like it. We can't go any further out that way. Even though the map looks like we should be able to. We cannot. Celestial token fashioned in the shape of the moon. That was a key item that we picked up just then. Alright, fine, we'll go talk to you guys.
Yo. Hiya.
You wanna try that move one more time?
Finally. Things were starting to look up.
You know, amateur. Who you play for?
The Xanarkanabes.
Oh, you were told not to say that.
What team you say again?
I meant, forget that. I got too, close to Sin, and My head's all foggy, like. So, I don't know where this place is. Or even where I came from.
Sin's toxin got to you. But you're still alive. Praise be to Yevon. All right, back to practice. I'm Waka, coach and captain of the Besaid Aurochs, brother.
I remember Waka having a much more annoying
What,
voice.
you hungry?
Did they redo the
Okay,
voice
back to the
lines
village.
for
I'll
this
get you
remake?
something.
So we can talk to him if we want to go back to the village. You see there might be items in the water? And to answer your question, Binos, Cloud and Sephiroth are not in this game. Cloud and Sephiroth are only in Final Fantasy VII. There's nothing in the water but beauty. I'm brushing up against invisible walls right now, while also trying to dive here. Are there any characters that are in all games? Yes. There's Gilgamesh, and there's Cid, and those are minor characters that appear in most of the Final Fantasy games. If you remember from my Final Fantasy IX playthrough, Cid was the king of some place whose name, Lindblum, who was turned into an oblak or some sort of bug, and then eventually turned into a frog. Chocobos are a recurring character as well, although I don't think they appeared until Final Fantasy III. Pretty sure.
I felt like I could trust this Waka, so I just had to ask. It's true Xanarkand was destroyed, right? 1,000 years ago? So it's just a big pile of rubble now, isn't it?
Long time ago, there were a whole lot of cities in Spira. Big cities with machina, machines to run them. People played all day and let the machina do the work. And then, well, take a look. He came and destroyed the machina cities. And Xanarkand along with him. Yeah, that was about 1,000 years ago. Just like you said. If you ask me, sins are punishment for letting things get out of hand. What gets me though, is we gotta suffer because of what some goofballs did way back when. Of course, we must always repent for our sins. That's important. It's just that it's hard to keep at it sometimes, you know?
It was just as Riku said. Waka and Riku couldn't both be lying. Why would they?
But you from the Xanarkand Daves, that was a good one, huh? Hey, I'm not saying the team never existed, yeah? But you gotta figure, a team living in luxury like that be pretty soft, eh?
I appreciated the fact that Waka was trying to cheer me up. But at that time, all I could think about was everything that happened to me. All this started with Sin. Maybe if I could find Sin one more time, I could go home. For now, I just live life until that time came. No more worrying about where or when I was. Sure, it was hard not to think of home, but I started to feel better already. A little better. Maybe.
So glad there's always a save point after a big cutscene. So in case something terrible happens, we don't have to sit through it all over again. Hey again, Lubba.
Hey, It's this way.
Yeah. I can't actually go this way at all. Once again, corridor. Wait, I can go this way, right? The map looks like I should be able to curve around here, but I guess I'm not able to. I need to be able to, like, jump. I need some sort of jump button. Who's the better character? Shulker Ryan, or Shulker Tidus, Walker Ryan? Shulk is a better character than Tidus, if I remember correctly. Granted, I haven't played this game in many, many years.
Huh? What's the big idea?
And it goes without saying that Ryan is a much better character than Waka. If I remember, Waka doesn't actually get much character development in this game. I mean, it's going to be kind of difficult to compare any game with Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, even as I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I was like, man, this game just isn't as good as Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is probably like, you know, that's like a once-in-a-generation type game. That's like a game of the decade type game. It's like almost unfair to make comparisons to it. There are 3 of them? No, there are 4 of them actually. Okay. 5 of them? How many of them are there? I guess we kill like 3 at a time if we... Nope. I don't really get what's going on. Oh, okay. I see what happened. They were naturally outsped us, I guess, and then the ambush made it so they took a free turn, and then they took some additional turns on top of that. That's a lot of spheres. Like, that's so many spheres for so early on. I mean, I was told that it's easier to get spheres in this version of the game. But it's like every single battle, practically. And that's so much. We're going to be overleveled for every single encounter. I think we level up here. There are treasure chests that are underwater. I see one here. Doesn't look like there's a treasure chest over there. So hard to tell with such a tiny television. We just need to get there before we have, like, 8 more encounters. For the most part, I don't really mind the random encounters. There's like one portion of the game where it's not very fun to have the random encounters.
Let me go!
Got a favor to ask you.
You want me on your team, right?
A major blitz tournament's coming up. All the teams in Spira will be there. It's so huge, I'm sure someone there will recognize you. Then you can go back to your old team, right? It'll be fun. What do you say, huh? Come on, come on!
Sure thing.
Dude, our team is gonna rock, eh?
So that's Waka's motivation for going on this journey with us. Keep that in mind,
I
by
thought
the
then
way.
Blitzball and Sin were the only two things that Spira and Xanarkand had in common. I wasn't too far off either.
This is where I was born. I started Blitz when I was 5. I joined the Aurochs at 13, 10 years ago.
So he's 23.
10 years. And we never won a game.
They've never won a
Well,
game
After last
in the
year's
past 10
tournament,
years.
I quit. Time seemed right.
And they expect me to carry this team. I guess I never really paid that much attention to the cutscenes.
So,
Because they're saying flat
after
out,
quitting,
yeah,
I
Blitzball
got
is going to
this
be
new job,
difficult
yeah?
because
But every time
your
my
team
mind wandered,
has lost every
thought
game
about
up
the
until
game.
now.
10 years without a single win will do that.
My first match last year was my big chance. But something else was on my mind. I couldn't focus.
Nice excuse.
Hey, hey!
So, you want to win the next tournament? Go out with a bang. So, what's our goal?
I don't care how we do. Long as we play our best. If we give it our all, I can walk away happy.
No. If I say, what's our goal? You say, victory! When you play in a blitzball tournament, you play to win.
Victory?
When we play in this Blitzball tournament, we're going to be playing to
serious?
continue the story. Alright, going through our other corridor to get to the next story objective.
Ah, the one from the sea.
Be on guard. There are fiends on the road today.
After surviving your run-in with Sin, it would be a shame if something happened now.
Wow, news travels fast in this small town.
Who are they?
Luzu and Gata, Crusaders.
Huh? Crews of what?
What, you forgot that too? Hey, sorry. Don't worry about it. I'll help you out.
Cool. In return, come tournament time, I'll make sure we take the cup.
Cool. About the Crusaders, you can ask them yourself. They got a lodge in a village. Besaid village.
They got any food there?
We'll get you
always thinking
something
about
over there
food.
later. Take a look around first. Let's see. The Crusaders' Lodge is over yonder. Luzu and Gata are usually there. All right. Over here.
Huh? What's up?
You do remember the prayer, right?
I didn't know it in the first place, to tell the truth.
Man, that's like the basics of the basics. All right, I'll show you.
No, I don't know all the All-Bed primary
Go ahead,
locations.
try.
I know a couple of them. I'm pretty sure I never completed it on my original playthrough either.
Hey, not bad. Okay, now, go present yourself to the Temple Summoner.
Any blitzball player would know that prayer. It was the blitzball sign for victory.
The children at the very opening cutscene did this, did that same. So we're not allowed to go backwards. Let's go into every single, area here. Talk to all these people. You've missed about half of them on the way. How far along are you in the game? Or I guess how many trials are you in, or some sort of non-spoilery way, I guess, of explaining it. I don't know how many people in chat have played or not played this game. Don't need any of those. Halfway? Okay. Now that the giant exclamation mark when there's a treasure chest in front of you is gone, I'm kind of, it's like sad to see it go. Like I miss it a lot.
Go present yourself to the Temple Summoner before we eat, yeah?
I feel like we got a good stopping part coming up pretty soon here. Like we've been isekai'd into a new world. We've met Riku and Waka. This is what I was trying to do during battle. Yeah, so apparently I need the sensor ability in an item in order for that to work. Okay, that's fine. Whoa! Poison is 1/4 their max HP? That's so much! Poison is like super deadly in this game. I'm used to poison being like, you know, 1/10 or like 1/8 or something like that. Darkness doesn't matter, because you can just switch to magic. Not too many things in here. Here are the
Hey,
Crusaders
you.
here.
You were attacked by Sin, right? Recently, was it?
I think so.
So, Sin can't be far, right? You're not hiding anything, are you?
Why would I?
If Sin's nearby, it'll attack the island for sure. But it hasn't. I wonder why.
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything. To tell the truth, I don't even know what the Crusaders are.
You're kidding, right?
Sin, the toxin. Gotta tell him who we are.
Yes, sir. The Crusaders are sworn to battle Sin. We have chapters throughout Spira, accepting all who wish to join our struggle. The hero Mihen formed the Crusaders 800 years ago as the Crimson Blades. Later, our ranks grew and we called ourselves the Crusaders. We've been fighting Sin ever since.
What? You've been fighting 800 years and you still haven't?
Well, we've steered Sin away from towns many times. And that's all we can do. Nobody's ever been able to defeat it. Our mission as Crusaders is to protect the temples, towns, villages, and people of Spira.
So, then whose job is it to defeat Sin?
Is Sin's toxin really this bad, sir?
It does seem rather bad. We could just tell you, but I think it better for you to try and remember. Go pray at the temple. Perhaps Yevon will help you regain your memory. We've been excommunicated from Yevon. We must go, now. Everything is riding on our next. Our
Who is we?
last
As
battle.
in those two, or the entirety of civilization?
But soon, we may be able to... We've got a plan. One that'll go...
Oh, there's people back here. And these are the cats of the world, I guess. I've already talked to that NPC earlier in the area. How hurt am I? Not hurt at all? Alright. Oh right, why would I take a nap at the inn when touching the save sphere completely heals you? Did you see Wedge somewhere? Who's Wedge? Was that the name of the, this guy?
But
No, that's
soon,
Gata.
we've got a plan.
And that's Luzu.
We must go, now.
Yeah, you can point out primary locations. I'll likely miss them along the way, otherwise. So another pair of frequent characters in the Final Fantasy franchise are Biggs and Wedge. I don't know where they are currently, though. I think they're in this game. I would imagine they are. There's a primer in that tent that I was in. Oh, then I definitely would have missed that one then. Let's look a little more closely. It looked like a dot on the ground when I picked it up the last time. But I don't see such a dot.
We've been We must go now.
I can kind of like mash A near the doorway. Oh, I was never gonna find that. Was that visible? That wasn't even visible. I just looked at it on the stream. How would anyone have found that? Well, may as well save since I got it. That really threw me for a loop. The fact that I was able to see something suspicious on the ground the last time and be like, oh, I'm gonna go grab that. And it was a primer the first time, and I couldn't find it that second time. So this is a priestess of Yevon. Yevon is the god of this game and also the religion for this game. They have priestesses and they have teachings and they have crusaders. That much I can sell. Who? I don't know who that person is. There's a whole lot of space to kind of explore. Not much really to do though. Other than Miss Albed primers. Yeah, and missed treasure chest. But there weren't even any treasure chests up there, unless I missed them.
It was then, standing in that place. I began to realize how different this world was from my own.
What do they call them in this game? They're not Eidolons. They were called Eidolons in Final Fantasy IX. Guardians? I think that was what they were called in Final Fantasy VIII. What are they called? Aeons. They're called Aeons in this game.
Ten years have passed since Lord Braska became High Summoner. And finally, we receive a statue for our temple.
Well, what's a High Summoner? I got too close to Sin's, toxin. It was funny hearing myself make the same excuse over and over. Funny,
I actually
A
find it a
little
little funny
sad.
as well.
The summoners are practitioners of a sacred art, sworn to protect the people of Yevon. Only a chosen few become summoners, who call forth entities of great power, the Aeons. The Aeons hear our prayers and come down to us. They are the blessing of Yevon.
So what he meant was that we should respect some kind of great men,
See it by
or
now?
something like that, I figured.
We don't have much longer for this. Alright, well, I won't bother people then. We'll just look for some treasure chests over here. I'm not finding any. High Summoner Gandorf. Oh, Holland. Then that one was Braska. Maybe this one was Braska. Let's go into these side rooms. No cure for Sense toxins? Ah well. Looks like I'll be able to use that excuse for the entire game. So basically, in a typical game, you would have something like amnesia. That's what your typical Final Fantasy protagonist would claim to have. Or some other sort of psychosis that caused them to like mess with their memories. But for Final Fantasy X, they were like, nope, he's totally sane, but everyone has to, like, the world around him is very different, so like he has to come up with some reason to be the way he is and to not understand what this world is. And since you, the player, also don't really understand the world and people need to explain everything to you, but it needs to make sense, narratively speaking, for people to be explaining things that should be common sense for everyone. You know, they come up with the concept of Sense toxins. It would be like, you know, you walking around and asking what a car was, or, you know, trying to walk into traffic because you don't understand what a crosswalk is, or what a walk signal is, or traffic signal is. Something doesn't feel right. Was that the thing I was supposed to do? That wasn't who I was expecting to talk to.
Sorry, man. No time for lunch yet. Take a nap. You look pushed.
You could at least go see how they are doing.
We can't interfere. It's a rule.
But it's been nearly. But it's been nearly.
It's been nearly a day already.
Perhaps you could go look for us.
People are searching for him now.
Thank you.
Who cares whether he comes back or not?
But he might die.
Fine, let him.
Do you hate him so?
Huh, I didn't realize that
But if he dies, you'll never
Tidus
be
is
able
not
to
a
tell
natural
how much you
blonde.
hate him.
That's so weird.
Waka?
That was a flashback from the day after Jecht, who is Tidus' father, disappeared mysteriously. And Tidus talking to his mother. But he had brunette hair in that cutscene.
Is something wrong?
The summoner hasn't returned from the trial.
Huh?
Well, apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
There's a room in there called the Cloister of Trials. Beyond is where the apprentice summoner prays. If the prayer is heard, the apprentice becomes a fully fledged summoner. Remember?
Sends toxins.
So someone is in there somewhere and they haven't come back out. Right, I got it.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
Sometimes, yes.
Why don't you go in and help?
See you,
There's already
Amazaro.
guardians
Thanks for
in
stopping
there.
by.
Besides, it's forbidden.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
The precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care.
So the cutscene.
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all.
So the cutscene right before we entered in here, where we were talking about, like, you know, Tidus saying, "Oh, I don't care if Jecht doesn't come back. Like, no one's going to search for him. It's been a day since he's been missing." That was to set up the fact that Tidus is going to ignore all the traditions of this new place and go into the trials anyway, even though it's totally against the protocol. Those who seek to learn Yevon's secrets or arts are tested by the Cloister of Trials. Alright. Examine objects. Just press the A button while you're here. Writing on the wall, object here. Okay. I feel like Tidus should definitely be able to be a summoner. Like, I feel like I go through as many trials as Yuna does. Oh, darn it, I did the spoiler thing again. I can't help myself. Only carry one sphere at a time, okay. And what kind of sphere is this? We have a glyph sphere. Don't worry, when we go to Final Fantasy 8 and also 7, I only ever played up through the first disc for both of those games, so I'll be much better at not doing spoilers in those games, because I will actually be unable to. It took all my willpower to not do Final Fantasy VII next. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this back where we found it. And we're going to put this somewhere else. I kind of played the end of Final Fantasy VII. Like, I played myself on, like, the first disc. And then on my brother's save file, who, like, super completed the game, I also played, like, I beat the Emerald Weapon, and I also beat the final boss using my brother's save file. So I know kind of what the end looks like. But didn't do any of the stuff in between there. But you missed the entire story. I did miss the entire story. Oh, that's what the glowing thing is. Okay. I thought it might be a primer. What am I supposed to use the destruction sphere for? If I have a sphere in my hand, will I at least be able to swap spheres? Please let me be able to swap spheres. I don't want to have to, like, keep track of placing things one place or another. Really? I can't take out one sphere and put in another? Yep, can't swap. Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least. We finally found what the destruction sphere was for, so we can stop trying to carry it everywhere. Does the sphere break? Nope, it doesn't actually. So theoretically, we would want to try every single possible place for it. This gives us the Rod of Wisdom.
gotten into you. Hey, it's okay. Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here.
So I guess we're guardians.
It's a tradition, very important.
So what about you?
Me? I'm a guardian.
A guardian? Whoa! Ah!
Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Guardians protect them. The Guardian's in there now. One of them's got a short fuse, and who knows what the other's thinking. Well, now that we come this far, might as well go all the way.
What are you doing here? Didn't think we'd be able to handle it.
No, it's just... See, I told you she gets mad easy.
Is the summoner all right?
Who are you?
Looks like we arrived right on time. If Tidus just waited another 5 minutes, the summer would have been fine. She's gonna fall, right? Yes. At least one other person was actually thinking about that. And thus, Tidus forgot all about returning to Xanarkin.
I have become a summoner.
Man, was I surprised. And here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
Hey, sorry about breaking your traditions and everything like that.
Hey, over here!
Wow, I can't go talk to Kilmara here? Can I do anything other than just move forward? Guess not.
What? Ow!
Wait till you see this.
I can't see anything.
Ready?
Okay.
Compared to other Final Fantasy games, you are ridiculously overpowered at the start of Final Fantasy X. Like, you're just able to do this naturally in combat here.
I had never seen anything like it in my life. Sure, it was a little scary, but still, I could feel a strange kind of gentleness coming from it.
It's not a Final Fantasy game without a dragon. Yep, that is true. Final Fantasy, the original game, is actually based off of Dungeons and Dragons, which is a tabletop game that comes from the West, or from the United States, I should say. Valve 4.
I remember, that night, we talked for the first time. I didn't know it then, but after that night, everything changed. For everyone.
Remember that Tidus
For
is
me.
at Xanarkand right now with the entire party, and he's reminiscing over the time it took for him to get there. So that's why he's talking over himself as if it's in the past tense.
This guy here wants into the tournament so bad, I let him on the team.
That's not quite how it went, Waka.
His memory's a little fuzzy, so don't mind him if he says anything odd. Come on, say hi.
Hi guys. So what's our goal?
To do our best! Nope, we got a new goal now. Our new goal is victory! To win every match, defeat every opposing team, to bring the Crystal Cup back to our island. That's all we need to do to win. Easy, huh?
That was a spoiler you didn't know? How did you not know it? It was in the very first opening cutscene.
Victory! 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 Victory!
Maybe not so much of a spoiler as an oversight into how the plot structure of the game worked.
Sure got the boys worked up, huh?
Oh, you didn't know that that place was called Xanarkand? Oh yeah, well I probably kind of spoiled that, but I also said that the name of the song that was playing in the opening cutscene is also like like when you think Final Fantasy X music, typically what you think is To Xanarkand, which is the song that's playing during that opening cutscene.
Stay away from the summoner! You're a bad man!
Lady Yuna, be careful.
But it was really my fault to begin with. I'm Yuna. Thank you so much for your help earlier.
Huh? I'm sorry about that. Wasn't I not supposed to? Guess I kinda overreacted.
Oh no, I was overconfident.
I saw that Aeon thing. That's amazing.
Really? Do you think I can become High Summoner?
Lady Yuna, come play with me some more.
So, tomorrow then.
Tomorrow?
We're going on the same boat, aren't we?
Oh, really?
We can talk more.
Huh.
You can tell me all about Xanarkand.
She's cute, yeah?
I didn't even remember that was an option here. What I would like to do is say yeah with a period, but I guess I'll be forced to say yeah with an exclamation mark.
Don't get no ideas.
No promises there, big guy. Hey, but what if she, like, comes on to me?
That's not going to happen. If you get tired, let me know. I had a bed made for you.
Stay away from the summoner!
Wow. Alright, nothing to be done about it. Guess we're done for the day.
Ready for bed? Good. Sleep tight.
Allow me to save? Nope. Alright, cutscene. I think I'm in control here. Yeah, I am. Alright, so there's a person over there. We're in a never-ending loop. I'm not gonna keep on doing that, but yeah, this is, let's see what this person's going to be here.
Where's that boat?
Everyone will find us if it doesn't come soon.
You really sure this is okay?
Would you take me to Xanarkand?
Hey! You said you'd go with me!
Oh, hey,
I thought Waka told you not to get any ideas.
He did?
I tell you, he meets like two
Yeah, so
girls
you're
in
coming
one
with
day,
me.
and he's already dreaming about having to choose between the two of them.
You with a woman? You can't even catch a ball! Oh, what's the matter?
He's lost the power of his frosted
Gonna
tips.
cry again? Cry, cry. That's the only thing you're good for.
I hate you.
Huh? What'd you say?
You have to speak loudly.
I hate you!
Huh?
That's the spirit.
You can do it.
Just once, I would like to have a Final Fantasy character with a completely intact psyche. Like, no psychological trauma, no tragic backstory.
I was surprised too, the first time I saw him. But no matter what he looks like, he isn't Chapu. You shouldn't have brought him here in the first place.
Yeah, but he needed our help.
Wow. Her outfit looks a lot better in HD.
Yeah, but
That's it. No
Like,
more.
the buckles really stand out,
Enough, Waka.
along with the chain, like the charms in her hair.
Scary. So, who's Chapu?
my little brother, Chapu. Looked like you.
He's dead?
He was with the Crusaders when they fought Sin last year. He didn't make it. I first heard on the day of the tournament.
Oh, so that's why.
I became a guardian to fight Sin, yeah?
Revenge, then?
That was the idea. I'm more worried about a stupid game now than avenging my brother. Well, after the next tournament, I'll be a guardian full-time. I know it kinda looks like I'm using you, but I'm not.
Don't worry. I mean, I owe you a lot. You really helped me out, you know? What I mean is... Thanks, Waka.
You really lose little details like this,
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
you know, when you only really remember at the end of the game. All right, I think that's a pretty good stopping point. We've been introduced to all the characters. If I go outside, we're gonna do some cutscene stuff and like learn about. Oh wait, we actually have Walk in the party. Let's go ahead and upgrade him. Actually, let me think here. If I go this way, I can get agility up, and HP and magic and all this other stuff. And then silence attack is over here. And then what's the next ability? Next ability is sleep attack over there. But if I were to go this way, I'm actually locked. Actually, I can't go this way because I need a lock sphere. So let's just go the only way that we can go. Mother Primer's in this town. I guess I have to go find it after, or at the beginning of next stream, I suppose. So yeah, that's the first 2.5 hours of Final Fantasy X. I think that we've met every character that we will meet that's important. That's actually really impressive that we met, like, so there's the first opening cutscene where we met all the characters, but then we also met them individually for different reasons. Granted, they kind of lumped like 4 of them together. There's Yuna and her 3 guardians. So they kind of cheated with that one, that character introduction, so it was kind of rushed. But yeah, this is going to be a long one. We're like, haven't even gotten a full party, or like a party of 3 yet. And it's been like 2 hours. So be sure to grab some popcorn for every stream. I don't know when we'll stream this next. It'll either be tomorrow or the next day. But I'm also coming off of a week of vacation, and I'm sure I have like a whole mountain of stuff waiting for me when I get back to the office tomorrow morning. So who knows? But the one thing, the lesson for it to be learned here is, if you ever see a stream start time, don't trust it. I had a lot of people that showed up like 2 hours or 3 hours early for the stream. And that's no good. I've been thinking about coming up with some sort of like Discord ping system where you can like sign up for games you want to be pinged about. I probably should go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight. It's only like 11 my time, so I'll probably do that before I go to bed. So you can join the Discord. The link is in the description. And I think the Discord command will work as well. Streamlabs hasn't really been saying anything this whole stream, so I don't know if it's actually up and running right now. Let's see if it actually decides to say anything. Nope, it's dead, but the link is in the description. And if you're watching this after the fact on in the YouTube playlist, you know, hopefully you stick around for the entire series, because we plan on basically going through the whole game. And be sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys. Oh, look, Streamlabs actually is running, up and running. So yeah, Discord link. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Next stream will be tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, have a good night.